The kelp forest, an undersea jungle where giant kelp stretches upward, spreading a golden canopy across the water's surface. Like tropical rainforests, kelp beds shelter a rich community of plants and animals. The colorful Garibaldi. Seals and sea lions eager to show off their aquatic skills. And countless invertebrates that live in every nook and cranny. These undersea gardens nourish and protect marine life of all description. Today, we'll travel to Southern California to examine the kelp forests of the Channel Islands National Park and Marine Sanctuary. We'll study some of the fascinating inhabitants of the kelp community, including sea lions and elephant seals. And finally, we'll visit British Columbia, Canada, to explore the northern kelp forest of the Emerald Sea. Towering strands of giant kelp rise over 3 stories from the ocean floor. Shafts of sunlight penetrate openings in the canopy, highlighting a busy scene below. Each level of the kelp forest is home to a different set of animals, and every kelp forest has its own distinct combination of inhabitants. Providing food, shelter, and protection from predators, the kelp forest is as richly diverse as a tropical rainforest. Fishes of every description rest on the bottom or hang motionless in the thick canopy. Schools of cigar-shaped signoritas swarm through the forest, picking small invertebrates from the kelp fronds. The most conspicuous member of the kelp community is the colorful Garibaldi. Once prized for the aquarium market, this bright orange fish is now protected in California waters. They're not a shy fish. Their vibrant coloring is a stark contrast to the vivid amber and green hues of the kelp forest. Juveniles are adorned with blue or purple spots that disappear as the fish matures. A very rare sight in the kelp forest is the black sea bass. Sometimes weighing hundreds of pounds, they are almost hunted to extinction by spear fishermen. An endangered but now protected fish, the black sea bass is slowly making a comeback in California waters. The giant kelp fish uses kelp fronds as camouflage, rarely venturing far from their protection. California moray eels hide in the rocks below the kelp forest. Measuring over 6 feet long, these morays will sometimes accept handouts of food. Ordinarily a tasty meal, this shrimp is allowed to pick parasites from the moray, earning its keep and its life. A large bat ray digs through the sand for food. Closely related to sharks, the bat ray has a skeleton made of cartilage rather than bone. Sleek and beautiful blue sharks occasionally venture into the kelp forest at night to feed. Giant kelp swaying in the current is just one member of the group of plants called algae. Algae are simpler than most plants. They do not have true stems, leaves, or roots. Like all plants, kelp use light energy from the sun to convert simple chemicals into food. Most seaweeds absorb the nutrients they need directly from their seawater surroundings. Giant kelp is one of the fastest growing plants in the world. up to 14 inches per day. There are many different types of kelp, but they're all made up of three basic parts: the holdfast, stipe, and blade. Looking like a root, but not a root at all, the holdfast anchors the giant kelp to rocky outcrops on the seafloor. The holdfast withstands the constant pull of currents and surging waves. Gas-filled bulbs, or floats, lift the kelp fronds towards the surface. These golden canopies decorate the coasts of several continents, including North America. They extend along the west coast from Alaska south to the tip of Mexico's Baja Peninsula. Our first destination today are the Channel Islands, a group of 8 mostly uninhabited islands lying just off the Southern California coast. In the seaside town of Santa Barbara, we boarded the liveaboard diving vessel, the Vision. From Santa Barbara, we traveled over 30 miles to the Channel Islands National Park and Marine Sanctuary. The 5 northern islands and protected marine sanctuary encompass over 1,200 square miles. And it's here that divers and snorkelers can venture into the remarkable kelp forest. As the saying goes, some people can't see the forest for the trees. So too do kelp beds embody much more than just seaweed. Like forests on land, these undersea gardens are complex ecosystems with many kinds of plants and animals. Kelp plants play a critical role as a framework for their community. Their three-dimensional structure influences what goes on around them and what grows on and under them. At least 20 different species of kelp grow along the coast of California. Some are subtidal giants, and others are shallow water streamers. They're all part of the brown algae family of seaweeds. After a year, 100-foot-tall mature giant kelp presides over the domain it may occupy for 7 years or more. Five species of pinnipeds, seals and sea lions, breed and live in the Channel Islands. They forage and play within the dense kelp forests of the marine sanctuary. The California sea lion is probably the most familiar of all pinnipeds because of its popularity in circuses and seaquariums. As its name implies, this sea lion is found primarily along the coast of California. Gregarious extroverts, agile sea lions congregate in large groups. A curious, even playful species, the California sea lion delights in showing off its swimming skills to divers. The harbor seal has a circumpolar distribution in more temperate seas. A medium-sized seal, these animals can reach weights of 300 to 400 pounds. Their distinctive mottled coats vary greatly in color and pattern. Their numbers fluctuate, and and the animals are subject to sterility caused by pollutants and viral infections. They feed on a wide variety of fish and invertebrates, taking species which are locally abundant and easy to catch. Like most seals and sea lions, harbor seals are a friendly, unaggressive species that allow close contact. The largest and most impressive of the pinnipeds are elephant seals. In appearance, they're unmistakable. Males have a fleshy proboscis resembling the trunk of an elephant. Weighing in excess of 5,000 pounds, with lengths of up to 15 feet, male elephant seals are indeed impressive animals. Northern elephant seals breed on islands off the west coast of North America, from the Baja Peninsula to the Farallon Islands of California. In the Channel Islands, the seals group together on sandy beaches to mate and rear their young. Hunted nearly to extinction by 19th century sealers, the animals have made a remarkable comeback. From a number as low as perhaps 20 in 1890, the population has rebounded to an astonishing 125,000 at present. They're excellent swimmers and divers. It's reported that elephant seals can descend to depths of over 5,000 feet, the deepest of any air-breathing animal, with the exception of sperm whales. They spend an amazing 80% of their time at sea, underwater. Their dives have been recorded to almost 2 hours in length. Before the arrival of the cows, a few bulls will be present at selected sites. Once the cows start arriving, many more bulls haul out from the sea. The bulls compete very aggressively for sites among the cows. The larger, more experienced bulls can prevail by threat alone. Few interactions between males reach the stage of exchanging blows. When they do, the contests are impressive. Bulls may lose an eye or break a jaw in a fight, but such injuries are rare. Most contests end with bites and minor tears on the neck and shoulders. The heavy bulls occasionally drag their massive bodies across the beach in chase of females or intruding males. Any smaller seals in their path are in grave danger of being crushed by their gargantuan bulk. An alpha bull can breed with up to 80 females, but because of the strain of the breeding season, they may have only a few successful years. The females give birth about 6 to 8 days after coming ashore. The pups weigh about 100 pounds. The cows come into heat again about 20 days after giving birth. During this time, they will be mated with on several occasions. Giant kelp influences everything that lives in the forest. The plants stand like a windbreak to the rolling Pacific swells. Their dense fronds shield animals from predators. In addition, they provide food. Smaller animals that live and eat in the kelp are themselves consumed by fish and larger animals. Some invertebrates and fish eat the kelp itself. Sea hares, large slugs, graze on algae that coats the plant. A top snail feeds on the kelp stipe. Invertebrates, like the octopus, find shelter in and around the kelp forest. Lobsters hide in the rocky crevices underneath the kelp holdfasts. Starfish of every size and shape roam about the seafloor looking for prey. Brittle stars move much faster than starfish. In some areas, they cover the bottom like a thick carpet. Our final destination is the Pacific coast of Canada and Vancouver Island. Along the western coast of British Columbia, Washington State, and Alaska lies an undersea world commonly referred to as the Emerald Sea. Its waters are so nutrient-rich with plankton and tiny animals that its color is a deep green. And it's here that another form of algae creates a forest of its own, giant bull kelp. From its narrow holdfast, bull kelp rises to the surface, gradually expanding to form a single large float at or near the surface. Blades sprout from the top of the float and drift in the currents like balloon streamers. The floats are filled with a curious mixture of gases, including carbon monoxide. Like the kelp forests of California, the bull kelp community harbors an unusual assemblage of living creatures. Several species of crabs live exclusively in and around the kelp beds. A small decorator crab perches atop a large blade of kelp. Tiny shrimp use the kelp bulb as a midwater platform to trap food as it passes by. On the sea floor, fish and invertebrates scratch a living amongst the kelp plants. A giant sunflower star uses its relatively quick speed and power to overtake prey. Highly prized abalone were once very common in the kelp forest. Collected for their tasty meat, the abalone is now protected in most areas. A sedentary lingcod lurks in the seaweeds, ready to ambush whatever swims by. One of the most unusual members of the kelp community is the strange-looking wolf eel. Not an eel at all, but rather an elongated fish. The wolf eel can reach lengths of over 6 feet. Easily tamed with offerings of their favorite food, sea urchins, the wolf eel is a delight to scuba divers. The story of the kelp forest and its community of living creatures weaves through the seasons, changing from year to year. We marvel at the diversity of life in the kelp forest and wonder how such a variety of organisms live together successfully. On every level, the kelp forest presents a multitude of unanswered questions. The daunting task of understanding the mysteries of the kelp forest has just begun.